What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about ZBCN today. Zebec at the request of Sean M. We're doing this for you. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, you guys, and let's get into it. Okay, it is the second day of May. You're up a nice little 9% today, right after this little rally from your all-time low areas here. From a low to a high, I mean, hell, man, in about a week's time, you moved up 108%. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'm sure all that fear and doubt and worry and pit stains, they're all gone now, right? It's a different kind of pit stain now. Now you're eager, you're jonesing, man, for higher prices. You're getting them. 10% up today. It moved up a whole percent while I was talking, damn it. Getting overbought, getting out of the overbought zone and then bouncing off the 60, that's a bullish scenario to put yourself in. I mean, hell, you did this once before. What'd you do over here? Well, you moved up, you moved down to the 60, you got overbought and out of the overbought zone, bounced off the 60 back into it. And what did you do? Well, effectively you consolidated for one day right in the middle of this move and you had more to go. So if we take that same kind of context into consideration here, perhaps what you are in the middle of is a half move right now and the other half is coming, right? And that would probably take you, if I had to guess, to your highs here, if not even above those highs. So yeah, you're at about 0014 now. We're looking for prices that are around 002 something. Let's see if we can figure that out a little bit better. Daily RSI looks great. It's immaculate. It's perfect. It's beautiful. We love it. It's great. Weekly time frame, weekly RSI also looks immaculate. It looks fantastic. Fantastic. Accumulating, showing stronger readings. We're ready, man. When you get overbought, you're going to be breaking out. It's going to be fantastic. It really will be. From a high to a low, where are you at right now? Right at the golden ratio. Found resistance there once, found support in the key areas to find support. Now you're back above it. We love it. Good, 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 good. So your next targets, by the way, of the fibs would be something around, I would say, and just because the RSI did this last time doesn't mean we have to. It doesn't mean we're halfway done with this move. Maybe we're 2/3 done with this move. Maybe we're 1/4 done through this move. And we have a lot more growth. You know, it's not quite that cut and dry, but just in the same kind of context here, where we are, what we did afterwards, what we could do afterwards, it makes sense that we might move all the way up to this area. But the next targets based off the fibs, not the RSI, would include an 18% pump to 00169 to 00188, somewhere in there. 30% to a, what was that, 18%? Yeah, 30 to 18% move. And you could go higher, with the exception that you could go higher. Generally, in this kind of environment, I wouldn't expect that you go above the 786, 886, but when comparing it to this move back here, I suppose it wouldn't surprise me if we did see highs above 002 or even above that. So what's ZBCN doing right now? What's ZB, not ZC, ZBCN market cap? $108 million in market cap valuation. Yeah, you got a lot of room to grow, man. You got a lot of room to grow. Yeah, so what's cool about this, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, a lot of people might look at this and think, oh, we need to get above here to break out. But the reality is this is a blemish, right? In my opinion, what you need to do to break out is get above here. And you're actually very close to that. And you're on a path right now that very well illustrates that you will, in fact, go above this line. You might be thinking that it's here, that's the exciting time, that's when you're breaking out. But I would say this is a blemish. The exciting moment to break out, it is the same as it's always been. It's right here at about 0015. When you get above that on a multi-daily closing basis, when you get above that on a weekly basis, I'm assuming ZBCN is really going to start to shine on a weekly basis, monthly basis, right? It's really going to separate from this long phase of accumulation that you've had for about a year now, just under a year now. You've been held down, you've been accumulating, clearly you've been accumulating, and I think with this reaction off your all-time lows, this double bottom, clearly you've been accumulating, showing your hand a little bit beforehand, foreshadowing the breakout to come. Clearly you're accumulating. Whenever you get above this area here, it's not going to stop. May, in other words, is going to be a hell of a month for ZBCN and all of you Zebecanites out there. From I don't know, what would you be? Zebecians? Zebecans. I don't know. It's like Beckon, Zebecan. Okay, all right, guys. I don't know. Is there a guy? Is there a superhero in the Zebec world? He is the Zebecan, the Zebecaner. Okay, I'm done. I probably have too much fun, more fun than I should have. Anyways, I don't know. Is that ever true? You can't have enough fun, man. Anyways. Higher prices are the name of the game right here. Looking at where we are here, hitting the golden ratio, pulling back. I suppose the expectation would be over the weeks, by the end of this month, man, you'll be at prices that are, something at 0028 to 004. Sorry, 0024. Maybe higher than that. I mean, you could, who knows? Whenever you break above this, guys, by the end of this month, you really could be at new all time highs. It wouldn't surprise me if you were. It's hard to say because I don't know how you're going to interact, right? Maybe it takes a week or two to get up here, and then it takes a week or two to consolidate, and then it's June by the time you're moving up. You know what I mean? I don't know. But I think you're definitely on a path higher. I would expect overall this move by the end of June, if not early July, you're at least a half a cent, but you're probably going to be all the way up around a cent, 0.009, something like that, if not higher, right? We could talk about 1.3 cents, 1.65 cents. We're getting into this 9x, 11x territory. Maybe go all the way up to 2.55 cents, something like that, and you see something closer to like a 20x, 19x, 17x from here. I don't think that you would go too much higher than that, but you could. You never know. With these things, it's really hard. I always have a hard time talking about where you're going to go because genuinely, you could stop at a 3.5x, and that's about average what I would expect the average coin to do from here by the end of June. It could happen. I don't know. All I know is you've been accumulating for a long time. I think you're going to get an explosive move. This would be the biggest move you've seen of your life. Who am I to say if that's an explosive move or not? Maybe that's the explosive move. Maybe it's all the way up here. It's really hard to guess. But if I had to guess, if you're making me guess, I have money on the line and I only get to keep that money if I guess and I guess accurately. I would guess that you stop somewhere between 0.009 and 0.0165. You could go higher, you could stop lower, but 0.009 to 0.0165, somewhere in that range, between about an 11x at a maximum to a 6x at a minimum. That's what I would expect. Now, could you go higher? Absolutely. I definitely wouldn't bet against seeing 2.5 cents. I might bet against seeing 4.4 cents, but even then it's not appropriate because we don't know. I don't know what we're dealing with here, man. It might really unleash. We haven't seen how this thing cuts and runs whenever it wants to. So we're about to, though. That's the benefit. That's the bright side. So not financial advice, not a financial advisor. If you're looking to buy ZBCN, if you've been waiting for the past year, you're not really going to have too much more of an opportunity to do that. Right now we're in kind of crunch time, and yes, you are at unideal areas. Yes, if you buy here, this is the same area that if you bought over the last year, it would have been the worst time to buy. However, this time I think it's different. I do think that this is going to be a kind of last-ditch effort. It's not the best time to buy, right? The best time would have been down here, of course. But it might feel like the best time to buy over the coming weeks whenever we really do rocket out of here. And I do expect that we're going to rocket out of here. I think that nothing that you've seen in your entire life, downside or upside, nothing compares to what you're about to do, right? This was a fun 2-week period. You had 2 weeks in a row, 32% up. The next week was 50%. It's not comparable to what's coming. What's coming is going to blow everything out of the water as far as I'm concerned. But that's just my opinion anyways. So I got nothing else for you guys. Hit that like button, subscribe. Getting above 1.0015 is going to be a big deal on a weekly closing basis, multi-daily closing basis. It's a big deal. I think getting above here will also be a big deal. Closing above 0.183 will be a big deal because at that point I would expect you're getting overbought in your RSI. It's not so much that the price is that big of a deal. Sure, getting above your weekly closing high over the last year, sure, that's a big deal in itself. But really, I think the big deal is going to come from getting overbought in your RSI, truly overbought, not just rejecting it. And when you do that, you're going to run. You're going to run like you've never run before. I promise you. I can't promise, and nobody knows the future, but I promise you. I really do believe that whenever you make this move, whenever you're breaking out, it's going to blow everything out of the water. Whatever, if you're comparing this next move to anything you've done here, you're going to fall short, right? It's only going to exceed what your expectations are, would be my expectation. But I've got nothing else for you. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.